Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Skeptalk Live, episode number 55. You may notice that we are sitting on the technical difficulty screen, and that's because here in just a second, Shayna will be joining us, but she's being delayed by the infamous Windows Update monster that, has captured many hours from all of us. So let's just check in with the chat and see how everybody's doing. I see Coco Mojo and Angry Cicada have joined us. See who else is coming on in. Got a really cool show today. The some of the news was certainly very fun to look into. It'll be getting bigger and bigger. Coco Mojo, thank you very much for the host. That alert should pop up here in just a second. Noticed it faster on the chat there than my dumb alert box, which should be coming up right now. Right? Come on. It. Nope, not yet. I guess not. Anyway, news for the show. I'm back. I was out a little bit last week. Had a tooth pulled, so I was pretty well out of it on pain medication on Thursday. So I had to cancel the show because I started getting ready to do the show, and I just couldn't get any content put together because I was pretty high on pain meds. So legally prescribed pain meds. All right, let's take a look. What are we taking a look at here? Let me check in with Shayna and see if our other host is ready here. Do. All right. I had a group DM created. Where did it go? It has disappeared. Wait, there it is. All right. I've started the call. They should be able to pop in as soon as they are ready. So if all of a sudden we start to hear Shayna, we'll know what's going on. All right. Coco says, "Oh yeah, you told me that in Dobby's stream." Yeah, I was pretty messed up. But it was easy to watch a show, way easier than performing a show. Magana says, "Did you forget to send me something?" Yes, I did. I totally did. I sent you a message earlier today asking if we were good to go, and then from then on, I just spaced it and moved on. So expect an email probably Thursday. For those of you who aren't aware, Magana is somebody you can contact in case you need some help with your social media and getting your presence a little bit better than what you've got right now. But let's see. Let's just get into it right now as we wait for everybody else to show up. We also may be joined by Wes tonight. Let's pop into the first story. Magana says she can also build starter websites as well. All right, remember, this is a fair use talk show, and everything that we're covering here is covered under the fair use doctrine. This is definitely criticism, parody, news reporting, and commentary, especially commentary. So if you'd like to help out the show, you can always subscribe or give us a follow or a donation. But if you don't want to do anything monetarily, click on this button, and it will share what you're doing right now with your Twitter followers, and you don't only have to just click a couple buttons. You don't even have to write anything. Let's get an update to one of the stories that we were covering before. If any of you remember the poop train, the basics of this story is that New York was having issues trying to find a way to dispose of its waste. So a group of its people, it sold its waste to a... Oh, hey, we got somebody coming online.
Can you hear me?
I sure can.
Great, here I am, finally.
Excellent. Let me get this set up, everybody. I'm going to share this screen with you. We're looking into a poop train update. Do you remember the poop train?
Yes, I do, and I'm actually of all of the poop stories, I do want to update on this one.
Exactly. Let me get you on screen here. We're gonna go to one guest show. Bam, fade. All right, everybody, welcome Shayna to the show. Shayna, how are you doing this week?
Sorry about that. I'm doing pretty good. I've been hiking a lot. That's why I'm a little sweaty, but endorphin high, and it's great.
Did you enjoy that hike you were headed on today?
Oh fuck yeah!
Excellent.
I want to do it like every day. The slight endurance push, and then the beautiful view, and then the brain chemicals. Yeah.
Hey, Risticata, thank you very much for that applause. But yeah, let's see. Okay, so catching everybody up. Poop train, New York, too much waste. Trying to find a place to sell it. They sold it to a little place in Alabama, and the little place in Alabama decided that was not an okay thing for the company that they sold it to do. So they told them to get it all out of there. Big problem was it just sat in a railway in the heat for everybody. Ina asks if everyone else is getting some buzz.
I'm hearing it from through Discord.
Through Discord.
Yeah.
What could that be?
So it's definitely your audio.
Yeah, let me check voice meter here. It might be, you know what? It might be my gain. Let me pop my gain real quick. No, my gain and my levels are fine. Hold on. Just kill this real quick. My gain is way the hell down. Let me just restart my audio engine here. All right, no one. All right, Shayna, say something.
Hi, I'm Shayna.
Okay, that's for some reason things are still working, and that's not supposed to happen because voice meter is supposed to be dead right now. I just killed it. Menu, shut down voice meter. There we go. Now it should mess everything up. And then voice meter, pop you back.
Now
up.
I can't hear you.
Yeah, it says not hearing it now, but if I restart voice meter. All right, everybody says no buzzing, but I have restarted everything, so it may be coming back. Do you hear it again?
There's no buzzing, but now it sounds like air, like wind or something. There's a feedback sound.
Yeah. All right, hold on. Let me, that might be in.
Oh, that's a little better.
All right.
When you're talking, you can't tell.
Right. You shouldn't be hear anything at all.
I am hearing you.
Okay. Well, when I'm talking, you shouldn't hear anything at all. But anyway, if it's all right for the guys on stream, I apologize, Shayna, if you hear any sort of buzzing. We'll have to move past it, and I'll figure it out past then. All right. Everybody says it's better. All right. We're going to move on. Okay. So this story, right? An unlikely ally has come to the aid of this group of small people in the city of Parrish, where the train carrying more than 200 shipping containers of sewer sludge sat in a rail yard for more than 2 months. Can you guess, Shayna, who it is that is coming to the rescue?
No, I don't have any context for a guess.
All right, Febreze has given out more than has given out a ton of its odor eliminating products to the residents of Parrish after the trains were stuck in the rail yard. They came in to provide at least some sort of relief. They were quoted with, "At Febreze, we believe that no one should be immersed in stink and are confident that our lineup of odor eliminating products could finally bring a breath of fresh air to the good people of Parrish." So, it is just as Blaze Black Sheep said. Yeah. Brilliant marketing.
Smart.
This week they released a YouTube video that includes interviews with Parrish residents about their experience with the poop train and reactions after getting free bottles and cans of Febreze.
This might be one of the most puzzling problems facing the world right now.
Right.
I mean, maybe taking out some wars and that conflict, but
Yeah.
like, what do you do? Nobody wants to take responsibility. Why would anybody want to take responsibility? What's the benefit? What?
Exactly.
You can't burn it. Well, you could, but where?
Yeah.
You're going to piss somebody off, or you're going to kill a bunch of species doing it. What, are you going to launch it into space? That's not really a great idea. This is not a good problem to have.
Yeah, it seems like this is dead. Like, burning it would be a terrible decision.
That's what I'm saying. But it's like, that would be a quick and just...
Yeah.
How? Yeah. Anyway.
Right. Okay. We've covered something like this before, but I'm excited for it to have happened again. A power outage caused residents of Lake Worth, Florida, to receive an alarming message. Watch out for zombies.
Oop, this did some...
So the message reached: power outage and zombie alert for residents of Lake Worth and Terminus. There are now far less than 7,380 customers involved due to extreme zombie activity. Restoration time uncertain. The bulletin was sent to residents of the city at 1:41 a.m. on Sunday that warned of a power outage and a zombie alert. City officials were soon scrambling to issue a strange assurance. Right, we're looking into the report that the system mentioned zombies. City Public Information Officer Ben Kerr told the Lake Worth Live. I want to reiterate that Lake Worth does not have any zombie activity currently, and apologize for the system message. In addition to Lake Worth, the message also referenced Terminus, which is a location in the Walking Dead television show. City officials told WPBF that the ABC station in West Palm Beach that an alert is automatically sent during power outages. In this case, however, the message may have been hacked, and they are checking the rest of the messages in the system to see if any others were altered. But I've totally seen lots of like street signs hacked for zombie adventures and stuff, but this is the first time I've seen like, one of those, warning message systems.
Are there any reports on people freaking out?
Not yet. I was looking. I think that they got to it in time, and it was sent at a weird time, so not everybody got it. So most people probably got the message, and then by the time everybody else woke up, right, they had the follow-up message. But I bet there's probably some dude sitting there going, it's finally fucking time, right? Blaze Black Sheep says, my bet some 14-year-old kid in their parents' basement's going away with their keyboard to troll the town. Yeah, exactly. Going to war.
Or somebody that worked for the company, the same thing.
Yep. Somebody got through and managed to mess with the system. Shane, when was the last time you were on a plane?
It's been a couple of years, but from like the age of 6 to like 14, 15, I was on a plane once a summer every year.
Okay.
So a lot of experience flying.
Anybody, what's the worst thing that ever happened to you while you were on a plane?
Well, the worst thing that happened was having to wait at the airport for like 12 hours before we finally... So we're on the plane, right, and every 40 minutes they're giving us an update. It'll be another 20 minutes. And we got like a $4 fucking voucher for food. The adults got alcohol. I was like, right, at this point, I think 14 or something.
Right.
Well, after being on there for 7 hours, we finally get off. We find out because something was wrong with the plane, so I'm glad that we didn't take off. We had to wait another 3 hours for another plane. Finally got it, but we had to go walk out, get on a bus to get to walk up the stairs to get on the plane. Same thing when we landed. We had to circle around before we could land, get off again. It was just like the longest from Seattle to LA. Wow. It was like I was going across the world. It took for fucking ever.
Right.
I remember at one point I'm in the airplane just twanging the fork in my mouth. I was so goddamn bored.
Well, our next story is, I think, along the same levels of how awful it would be. But a plane that left for Dubai for Amsterdam, right, had to veer off of course to Vienna when a case of persistent farting ended up in a fist fight.
Oh, God.
The whole problem started when an elderly man started farting. Despite disapproval from the two other guys that sat beside him, he continued. When they saw that there wasn't going to be an end to this insolence, they decided to call the Transylvania flight attendants, or Transavia flight attendants to the case. But unfortunately, nothing was done to stop the farting. They were sentenced to taking this unhealthy ass gas throughout the duration of the flight. So, they were, of course, kind of pissed. Pushed to the wall with no civilized way of escape, they took things into their own hands eventually, and just started letting fists fly. Commotions continued, despite warnings from the pilots and the flight crew. So, the pilots forcefully had to touch down in Vienna. And it was at this point the police officers and dogs made the participants of this problem step down. Yeah, Transylvania, sorry, I read that really wrong. But after that, more complications developed. 4 passengers were told to step off of the plane. 2 of them were disgruntled men. The other were 2 sisters of Dutch and Moroccan descent. The girls are now suing the flight company for poor service, including possible discrimination. Nora Lishab, one of the sisters, says that their participation in this commotion was no more than sitting in the same row where the 2 men were actually involved in the fistfight. They were wondering how they could be treated like that just for having a seat close to the instigators of the violence. The 25-year-old woman goes on to say that they didn't even know the 3 men involved in the case, whether it be the 2 men's or the farting guy. And they are getting the short end of the stick because their seating arrangement on the flight. She also accused the flight attendants of adding fuel to the fire rather than calming the whole commotion down. Oops. Damn it, I didn't.
Well, I mean,
yeah,
that's understandably going to make some people upset. I feel bad for the guy because, I mean, who does that on purpose?
Right.
You know, usually there's probably some like stomach discomfort. I would imagine extraordinary embarrassment, maybe not in their culture. I don't know.
Well, I don't know. I think I could see some old guy who was just all like, "You want me to stop, eh?" Burnt. Right.
I guess that does happen. I just don't default to thinking about that because that's insane to me.
Journeyman says I would totally do that on purpose if I could. Right, if you could fart at command, I would use that for great justice. You're not saying you wouldn't do it, Jay? Or you wouldn't do it, Jana?
No! I do not need to put myself out there like that.
All right. In other plane-related news, I call this one just simply smiley face emoji. Or, it's frowny face emoji. Right, yeah.
Sad...
I did that wrong. Sorry, I meant frowny face, right? But Frontier Airlines is saying that they are aware of a recent situation on board a flight from Denver to South Carolina in which a passenger allegedly urinated on the passenger seat in front of him.
That's disgusting.
Right, it's terrible. According to another passenger on the flight, the man, later identified in FBI documents as Michael Allen Hagg, urinated on the seat in front of hers after being kicked out of his previous seat for inappropriate behavior. So the way that reads is that she was sitting next to him, and then he peed on the seat in front of her after he got moved to this new seat because of inappropriate behavior where he was before. The passenger told the news that she was sitting in the same row as Haig across the aisle when he unbuckled his seatbelt and urinated on the back of the chair. The woman said Haig then moved to the row that she was in after allegedly verbally and physically assaulting 2 other women near his previous seat. She also said that Haig allegedly touched one of the sleeping female passengers and asked another woman about her sexual and marital life.
What?
Yeah, this guy's a fucking real piece of shit. Not an okay person. Right. Billy's Black Sheep says this is what happens when parents don't teach people manners. People fucking suck.
I don't know it's manners as much as that person's just a fucking creepy weirdo that maybe shouldn't have ever been born.
Journeyman Vader wants to know if he gets moved again because that sounds pretty inappropriate. Yeah, we'll find out. When it was then that the passenger photographed Haig urinating on the seat. I did not grab that photo because it's not going to work for us. Not on this show. Thanks, Twitch. A photo provided by the passenger shows that that what appears to be a man peeing. While it doesn't clearly show his private parts, it does show a big stream of pee. In a statement to the news, Frontier Airlines spokesperson Richard Oliver said that the safety and security of our passengers is our top priority at Frontier. We have been made aware of this situation and are working with appropriate authorities. If I misspeak a lot or sound a little weird tonight, it is because I do have a giant wound in my mouth, and I can feel it with every syllable I enunciate.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
It's all good. I had a tooth removed, so yeah. It's at the point of where it's now healing back and the gums are hardening, so I can feel every fucking thing I say.
I had both of these wisdom teeth taken out like less than 3 months ago, so you know they're not still closed up. It's real annoying.
Anyway, he was taken. There was a complaint made to law enforcement after the flight. Like, they had to sit with this guy the entire flight too. They didn't pull this. So if you fart on the plane too much and get into a fist fight, they'll pull the plane over. But if you just start peeing and sexually assaulting people, apparently they'll continue the flight, which is ridiculous. I'm assuming it's probably because they were close enough or something.
Yeah, also that's a lot of disruption landing a plane because of, I mean, obviously inappropriate behavior, but nobody's gonna die. It's not like a life-threatening thing. It's like, you know, I wonder what contingencies they had. They just move the person around, like they don't. That'd be kind of weird. But like a little prison cell, like you have to go sit in the closet by yourself on the plane. They should maybe have that. Well, if things like this keep happening, they might just.
Like an airplane timeout.
Yeah, exactly. Because who wants to sit next to that person? I would be offended as somebody else on that plane if that asshole got sat next to me because they pissed somebody else off. Literally.
Yeah. They should give the air marshals trank guns and just it says the plane.
Oh yeah.
Give the plane a brig.
Yes. Exactly.
The probable cause for his arrest, according to the FBI, is that Haig interfered with the flight crew, intimidated the flight attendant, engaged in inappropriate behavior, specifically touching, and disruptive behavior, as well as indecent exposure of his genitalia. So, yeah, he at least went away. The lady who got the seat peed on in front of her got a $200 voucher.
I guess that's enough for half a plane ticket. I think they'd give her a free flight somewhere.
Right. Yeah.
Probably cheaper for them.
Right. I don't think
just pick a flight that isn't full.
I feel that there's definitely a lot more that they could do there to try to convince her not to sue. Enid says that it's just a dog kennel in the cargo area. Exactly. Sit down here and be cold as shit.
I mean, people need to be held accountable, damn it.
Journeyman Bader says, yeah, a free flight to that guy's trial. Yeah. All right. So, what do you think about this tub of spuds?
Looks like there's some poisonous ones in there.
Yeah, definitely. So a man found filling his hotel bath with potatoes went on a bizarre 5-day drug binge with his friends.
This is like the Hangover movie.
Right. James,
except for weirder.
James Johnson, 30, was caught by officers wearing a woman's bra over his shirt and then carrying a bag of potatoes as he entered the Travelodge in Eastlea. His room was searched at an assortment of drugs, including ecstasy, 5-MAPB, similar to MDMA, and a psychedelic substance called 2CB were found, as well as the tub full of potatoes.
So different kind of sex drugs.
Yeah, exactly.
Cheetos instead of Cheez-It dust. Or no, Cheeto dust.
Yeah, I think he was on a bad mix of sex drugs, because instead of filling your tub with Cheetos, you fill it with fucking potatoes.
Nightshade.
The court heard that Johnson and the two friends had come back to his hometown of Eastlake to go on a one-night binge. This party, however, turned into a 5-night stay, with numerous drugs being consumed by the trio. James Killam, prosecuting, told the court officers were called when a hotel staff smelt a strong whiff of cannabis coming from their room. They saw Johnson with the bag of potatoes and the women's clothing. It may be this that led officers to believe that he was intoxicated. The number of drugs seized at the hotel and in a separate search at his home in Ely led to charges of possessions with intent to supply, charges which Johnson pleaded guilty to. In the interview, Johnson said that he had bought the drugs on the dark web for around £750. However, testing, a drug expert found that the true value of the drugs was around £300 and that some of the substances had been inert. So he got screwed on the internet as well.
I don't know if potatoes are an aphrodisiac. I am suspecting not. I'm not sure what about a nightshade would make it aphrodisiac. I'm not sure.
Also, it was just,
also they say is, you know.
It was three friends in a room wearing women's clothing. If potato aphrodisiac is involved, this was a real party.
Oh my god, so ludicrous. Not a story you hear every day.
Right. The court heard that Johnson, who works as a volunteer, was supposed to take prescribed medication, but had stopped doing so when he took the Class A drugs. It was said that Johnson was remorseful and was an intelligent man who made a mistake. In sentencing, Judge Henry said that the case was odd and bizarre, and the consequences of the binge could have been dangerous. There was no explanation for why the bathtub was filled with potatoes.
All right.
That was the part.
That's like the most important question.
Exactly. That's the part that absolutely floored me when I was reading this. I was like, okay, right. Binge, he's a good guy. He made a mistake. Whatever. Why the potato bathtub? Jasper, hold on. Calm down.
Is this the actual picture?
No, I just actually Google searched for bathtub full of potatoes, and I found
there was a picture of one.
I found a lot. I had my choice of bathtub pictures.
So maybe there's some kind of there's some kind of a conspiracy with potatoes in a bathtub. We should look into that. I don't know how interesting that would be, but
exactly. Maybe he is betting that he could make a bathtub full of mashed potatoes. He just had to get started from the ground up, right?
Oh my god. That would be the best.
Journeyman Bader says
mash potatoes in the bathtub.
Exactly. Journeyman Bader says, "Oh yeah, taking a bath in starch, get some."
Oh yeah, get some everywhere and up in every orifice.
Right. Exactly. All right. Our next story. This one is pretty crazy. So it was a normal garbage day in London, Ontario. I didn't know that there was an Ontario or London in Ontario, but there is, right? This week, everyone hauled their trash out to the curb and left it for a pickup. But in one case, it wasn't a garbage truck that came to collect. It was the local police, the army, and the bomb squad. Yeah. Somebody put a live World War I era artillery shell out with the trash. And Danny Velos, who lives in the neighborhood, stumbled on the dangerous garbage. He spoke with the news about about finding it, and here's the parts of the conversation. They asked, "What did you see in your neighbor's garbage?" He replied with, "Well, it wasn't garbage picking. I wasn't garbage picking. I was just at the path through the backyard. When I stepped over my fence, I almost stepped on an artillery shell." They said he must have put it there, and he should have, or he said they must have put it there, and he should have called the police right off the bat. So they asked, "Wait a second, were you sure right away what you were looking at?" He said, "Yeah, I work at the Lac La Biche bombing range many times, and I've worked over as an iron worker all over Canada. So every year." You go out to I go out to the bombing range, and they teach me about bombs. He says it was solid brass, and he knew that it was old. They asked, so someone put this First World War era artillery shell out to the curb with their trash, even though it contained 20 to 30 pounds of live ordnance, according to the police.
Oh my God!
Right? Were you worried? Did you think that this could explode? He said, "Oh yeah, I had a doctor's appointment to get my broken shoulder looked at because I cracked my shoulder blade. And on the way, I phoned the police. I got a phone call. I was at the beer store, and I said, they asked what I was doing at the beer store, and I said, well, I'm not going to be able to make it to my doctor's appointment today. I'm going to get some beer, and I'll be right back to the bomb in about 10 minutes.
That's awesome.
So we went back. And the bomb, he said, okay, now the bomb is 3 feet from me. And the officer who drove up with his car said, are you Danny from the beer store? So he replied, yes. And he said, where's the bomb? And he said, he pointed at about 3 feet away from him. So they were able to tell right away that it was not an inert bomb because it didn't have any holes drilled through it like they would with a normal inert bomb. Blaze Black Sheep says, I mean, he is holding a beer in his hand in that photo. Right? Exactly. Journeyman says, well, I don't want his artillery ordnance anymore if there's only a better way of getting rid of it than a garbage truck. Right? Exactly. A beer a day keeps the doctors well paid.
What kind of a like explosion would that cause?
34 sticks of dynamite?
So that would have taken out like
half a city block.
Yeah. Holy shit. Who then is there what's the story behind the guy that put it out in the trash?
It doesn't say, right? It doesn't say in this entire article because I bet it's a criminal aspect that they're looking into right now.
Right. Because like was that yeah, there might be something really shady or it's absolute stupidity.
It's 24 sticks of dynamite.
Oh, better.
And it was very, very, very not inert. They took it to the bomb range and detonated it, and they called him and told him it was a hell of an explosion.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And Jesus. He almost stepped on it, right?
Oh my God.
Also, it's the largest bomb ever found by a civilian, and also the oldest bomb ever found by a civilian in Canada.
Jesus.
Yep.
That's a story. Holy hell.
Yeah, hell of a thing to wake up to when you go take out your trash.
Right.
Blaze Black Sheep says, where does this take place? It was London, Ontario.
Them Canadians.
Right. Like, what are they doing with a bunch of World War I bombs?
Right.
He was disappointed because he wanted to,
bombs.
Right. He was disappointed. He wanted to take it home and make a lamp out of it.
Oh my God.
I totally understand. I would also like to have taken that home and make a lamp out of the bomb. You know. You ready for an interaction news story, Shayna?
Yes.
These are always.
Is this the horrible cheese?
Well, I mean,
Brie. Yeah,
are you not a fan of Brie?
No, I think there might be milder Bries that I might not mind, but I am almost unwilling to try them. I had a situation in a grocery store where I went and slathered a whole bunch on a cracker, and it was the worst tasting thing I've ever put in my mouth. I was going to vomit. It was so bad. And I'm like running around the store trying to find any other sample to get. I was the most like panicked. Oh my God, it was terrible. Never again. I don't trust it.
Well, there's a new slang term for something, and it's called brieing. And I want you to take a guess what it is. Here's your 6 options.
Like, I already have a idea. We'll see if it's on your list.
All right. It's some sort of sex thing. 2, cheese drug parties. 3, a new beauty treatment. 4, a new fad diet. 5, a new medicine. Or 6, a new kind of Bitcoin.
1, 3, or 5.
1, 3, or 5?
Oh, man. I'm like, it's 1, 3, or 5.
All right, Chad, tell me what you think.
Each other.
Yeah, so what is breeing? Journeyman Invader says all of the above. I can definitely tell you it is one of these. Blaze Black Sheep says 1, 3, or 4. We'll go just a little bit longer. All right. So nobody got it. There's a new trend called breeing that involves groups of people, usually women, taking MDMA wrapped in cheese.
Okay.
Practical Theresa says spreading them on your boobs. It's not quite. It's not a sex thing. This is a drug thing. It was a 50-year-old businesswoman who said that she regularly hosts MDMA-fueled dinner parties at her London home. She explained why she does it. She said, I have a strong circle of female friends, and we have tried all of the latest food fashions and destination dinner parties, but something was missing. We did not seem to have much of a laugh than when we were young, or much of a laugh than when we were young. There always seemed to be barriers up between us, so one of our groups suggested that we all take MDMA together, so we could open up to each other and improve our friendships. She added, our friend had been given a gram of MDMA by her daughter, and we had no idea how to take it. So some of us had taken Coke before, but we had not taken MDMA. I phoned my son, who told us not to sniff it, but to swallow it. So we wrapped some of the powder in a cigarette paper and put it in brie, and then all took some each. Nothing happened for 40 minutes. Then after... Oh, Enad Town, thank you very much for that 1 bit, taking the number 1 spot.
Blaze Black Sheep.
Blaze
Rich
says,
Europeans, brie and MDMA, right. Why am I finding myself not surprised?
Right, exactly. Dream Invader says, something missing from these dinner parties. Oh yeah, drugs.
That's my, okay, fine, y'all, we're, a bunch of rich Europeans want to do your drugs. Why the brie? That's a strange... Well, again, biased opinion because brie's disgusting, but why would you do that?
Angry Cicada is so mad at you right now. Brie's her favorite thing.
Well, that's fine. She can have all my brie.
Exactly.
How's that? It's more brie for you.
Yeah, people sit around and eat this disgusting, squishy, gross, smelly cheese and put it on crackers and make a whole day of it. Like it's a thing that they do.
I don't think those would be my friends.
But apparently it's spread since then. She has been invited to breeing parties, and people seem to think that it was all a grand design, but I assure you it was not in such a middle-class way as to take drugs, but it's probably why it has taken off. MDMA is the main ingredient of ecstasy tablets, but in the last decade, consumption of MDMA powder has rocketed as more discerning drug users did not want ease, as they are invariably cut with a variety of substances. Brie and skeet and shotguns and beer, that I can get behind. Journeyman Bader says cheese plates are considered a dessert by a lot of rich fuckers, especially in the UK. Yeah, it's fucking disgusting. Because it's cheese, it's not a dessert. Anyway, there's a bunch of old people eating cheese with drugs in it, so... Oh, this video. Okay, so we live in a place where there's, bicycle marathons and stuff. But it happens a lot more frequently in outskirt towns in, like the UK. They have lots of these things because for some reason people like to run and waste a bunch of other people's time. But here is a lady who apparently, if you waste too much of her time, so you can see her, she's in the car in the back here. The blue car in the middle of the screen.
Yep.
So we're gonna go 2 minutes into this video. And we're gonna start watching from there. So you can see she's been there, she's aggravated and angry and yelling out the car. You can yell her saying, I live down here in this workshop. I've got stuff to do.
That would be so annoying. Oh.
She gives,
oh my gosh,
she gives
just
no
like, fuck
shits.
you.
No shits.
That's kind of awesome.
Excuse me, I'm a police. Fucking unbelievable. Listen, you're breaking the law. I have tried to get out every which way.
Just let her through. You're making more of a spectacle by stopping her. Jesus.
She's like, I went very slowly.
She did. It was really amusing.
Blaze Black Sheep's like, yeah, put the cone there. That's totally gonna stop the car. She gives a shit about
awesome.
your cone.
Like, yeah, he like set the cone like that was suddenly gonna be like, oh, I shouldn't be trying to mow this guy down very slowly.
Definitely there are two types of people. People who like running and runners, and people who really hate that kind of person. I'm definitely saying that we've got the crowd of people who do not like people wasting time with marathons and shit. Unet Down says, I hate marathons for this exact reason. Fuck them, go run in the woods.
I agree, man. There's so many places that you can. Why are you trying to run where cars go?
They literally make circular tracks so that you can run as long as you need to run.
And like millions of trails that, yeah, it doesn't make sense.
Welcome to the show, Twisty Top Hatter. Are you a marathon
really
type
bad.
person or a not marathon type person?
I'm a suspect not. But I know her pretty well.
Right. But anyway, this went viral. There is so many of those type of people who feel oh, Unit says the buzz is bad again. Rough. You know, it might be my computer. Let me readjust my microphone. We're gonna have the microphone floating on the screen for the rest of the show, and hopefully it's down low enough that it's not picking up too much of the computer, so we'll go from there. But yeah, so this received a lot of negative feedback from people on the internet who are people who like running. Dusty, thank you very much for that applause. All right, another case of some people getting hacked. This one is hilarious. Twisty, once again, thank you again for another applause. All right, so
we got a big nope out of her.
Right.
For the running.
So, Redding, California, an online forum featuring two candidates for California's 1st District U.S. congressional seat was interrupted when the internet feed was hacked during the live conference. What do you think they did, Shayna?
Is this image any indication?
No, I can't actually show the
I was
image.
gonna say some. What? So what did they interrupt again? I missed the very first part of what you said.
A online discussion forum between two of the candidates for California's 1st District U.S. congressional seat.
I don't know. I'm calling them both out. I have no idea.
It was porn.
It was porn.
Something. Okay.
The organization independent like the North State presented the forum. That's the name of it. Oh, the organization is called the Independent Like the North State. 50 bits from Journeyman Bader. Thank you very much for those 50 bits. let's see, it was open to the 7 candidates vying for the incumbent Doug LaMalfa's seat. Only 2 candidates, Louis Elbinger, Green Party, and from Mount Shasta, and David Peterson, Democrat from Grass Valley, were present. The online viewers and listeners on radio station KFOI 90.9 FM had just heard opening statements from the 2 candidates when the video feed, clearly showing sexual acts between 2 men, filled the screen for several seconds shortly after 8 p.m.
Oh, man.
Yeah. The moderator could be heard saying, "Looks like we got hacked again. We'll try to fix this." The feed was then shut down. Moderator Chris Verrill told KRCR that it was a disappointing turn of events. We had a community forum, and while it's disappointing, people did not respect us or the candidates, or more importantly, the democratic process. Practical Surrealist, 51 bits. Thank you very much. Taking the #1 spot. They said that they are hoping to reschedule the debate in the future and work on resolving some of their security issues.
Yeah, right.
Exactly. He noted that having an online forum is an important tool to the North State, which was so large and candidates hail from all over. The 2 candidates on the forum Thursday were in Mount Shasta and Grass Valley. Our mission is to bring Republicans and Democrats together with civility, trust, and openness, said Verrill. The forum was originally scheduled to rebroadcast on KIXE, the local PBS affiliate, but Verrill said that they will not be presenting this forum after it was cut short. Could you imagine everybody turning it on PBS and then just 8 or 9 seconds of raw dog action?
Janet Jackson boob.
Blaze Black Sheep says, "Someone get this hacker a better PC." Exactly. I'm down for it. If only we could get like the presidential debates to get hacked. That'd be much better.
Right.
We need to figure out how to hack TV and just mess with people. That'd be great.
Of course, the speech at the correspondence dinner by Michelle Wolf.
Yeah.
She like verbally hacked the crap out of the whole. It was great. If y'all haven't watched it, I highly suggest it.
I very much enjoyed her performance, and I do not see a damn thing wrong with anything she said.
No, it was so good. It was so good. Even the slight like awkwardness and flubbing over. I mean, she's in a room full of people that would have anyone's hind for saying those things. So fuck yeah.
Right.
It's like that's the media and the politicians.
So here's a Bitcoin story for hobbyists trying to strike it rich with the cryptocurrency mining, but don't have access to a gigantic warehouse where they can park the hardware. Making money means packing a bunch of very loud and very hot computers into your house or apartment. Some at-home cryptocurrency miners are harnessing that heat and from the powerful mining equipment in order to do incredible things. The Redditor posting under the handle GTA3Uzi just took it into another level in a Tuesday post by the user on the R Bitcoin subreddit. They revealed a system for heating hot water that they created using their Bitcoin mining machines to make it so that you could chill in a steamy bath while making money.
I see nothing going wrong with that.
Right. Turns out it's too effective. So they say, imagine a crypto-heated swimming pool or anything else you could heat with the output from a small, medium, or large-scale mining operation, they wrote on Reddit. Some of their suggestions for using the hot water include creating a sauna, heating a home, drying one's hair, and even cooking a steak sous vide. When they were reached out to from Reddit, they said that it was too effective and that the water was getting to 122 degrees Fahrenheit from the system that they had.
Holy shit.
He set it up briefly in January, and it's extremely simple. It uses a water-to-air intercooler like you'd find on a supercharged car. So Blazed could make one if he wanted to. Heat it down with 100 bits. Going to 101. Taking the #1 spot again. Uh, yeah. So it's an ambient air that is pulled into the system to cool the system, and then the heated air is pushed through an intercooler that has water constantly being pumped through it from a source like the bathtub, and the heat is transferred to the water, and voila, computer heated water suitable for anything you normally use hot water for. It would produce baths of up to 122 degrees Fahrenheit, dangerously hot, especially as he has a few pets who could fall in if they somehow gained access to the bathroom. So he took it down. But he said that while he was doing his original Bitcoin setup was making a 10% profit because of the cost of electricity and that he was normally doing. But after he hooked up the water, go ahead.
No, you can finish.
After he hooked up the water heater, he eliminated his $80 heating bill in addition to generating new cryptocurrency. And he estimated at this point it went from 10% to 47%. So he says he is definitely willing to try it again.
So my thought is this is it, assuming there isn't any danger in it.
Mm-hmm.
This is actually a really great idea, but the more you're going to implement this, the faster that bubble is going to burst.
Oh yeah. And then everybody gets used to the rate
at which people are getting obsessed with this.
Right.
I'm surprised it hasn't yet.
It's going to end up as a thing on rental agreements that you will not Bitcoin mine.
Yeah.
Seriously. After about the 5th apartment complex burns down from poorly implemented heater coolers, right? Mm-hmm. All right, so here's a terrible person.
They look like it. They have no eyebrows.
Right. This story is real weird. Kelly M. Cochran, already serving a life sentence in Michigan for her boyfriend's murder, was just sentenced on Wednesday to an additional 65 years for the 2016 murder of her husband. She agreed to the prison term in a plea deal. 35, Cochran, 35, said in a lengthy statement to the court that she missed her husband, whom she admitted injecting with a large dose of heroin and then smothering with her own hands. But the way that this came to it is really weird. So, she was cheating on her husband with a guy, right? So, in order to end the affair that she was having, she got together with her husband and murdered the guy, right? They killed him. So then, in order to get revenge, because she's a very crazy person, for her boyfriend's murder. Oh, Ramo with that Twitch Prime subscription. Damn, son. I love that cut. It's the best Illuminati remix ever. Thank you, Ramo.
Oh, I do too.
Boop. All right. He says, finally, I figured it out. Excellent. So she then murdered her husband to get revenge for the death of her boyfriend. Right? And then she cut up her husband and fed him to her neighbors at a barbecue.
Oh my God.
Right.
What the fuck?
I don't think life plus 65 years is enough.
No, I'm a firm believer in not the death penalty. Well,
right.
Something likened to the death penalty. Let's study their brain. Why did they do this thing? What's going on in there? I mean, if you're going to kill them anyway, and the expense that it costs, I've never actually done that analysis, but I'm curious how much it costs to kill one person, how long you could use them as a. They'd obviously, I'm talking they'd volunteer for it.
Yeah.
You can die or you could be a research subject.
That might be might be good. And then
I think it's a great idea, and I'm serious. I actually am very serious about it. There could be a lot of good done. I understand the ethical confines why that might be difficult, but there's nothing ethically wrong. If you're going to kill the person anyway, and they are volunteering to do that, they're consenting, well...
Twisty says, chop him up for sure, but feed him to your innocent neighbors at a barbecue? Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a line where it goes from crazy to fucked up. But she then said that she still hates her husband, and yes, she did kill him because it was revenge. So, and revenge for the boyfriend that she agreed to kill with him, and she evened up the score. She told police that she lacked feeling or emotion, and she said that she made sure that her husband's mother saw that her husband's breathing was labored before he died. So, crazy. Absolutely insane person. These people exist. Hopefully we catch them all.
Yeah, Enette, this is straight up from Fried Green Tomatoes. I was thinking that, actually.
All right.
I loved that movie.
This guy's in court. Now, this photo is taken from this guy's court appearance. Judged on what he looks like. I'm actually thinking what I want to wonder what everybody thinks, because I immediately was like, this makes sense when I saw.
Oh, unfortunately, the cast, it's kind of, your microphone's kind of covering the facial hair, which is really unfortunate. That's. And then.
Is that better?
No, I'm not hearing. Oh.
Is that better? Did I fix it?
Oh, I can't. I have to wait till the feed catches up.
Oh, are you not looking in Discord? I thought I was sharing it with you in Discord.
No, I'm looking in Discord. No, I can see it. What the people? His mustache is being covered in the.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just moved it.
Yeah. Let me see if
I feel like that mustache, the goatee and all is kind of important about trying to guess what the fuck this guy did.
So, yeah, exactly. I want you to take a guess, Shana. What do you think that this guy's in court for?
Some kind of failed sorcery, or
I could see that too. All right, chat. What do you guys think? I'm gonna give you a guess.
You actually look like a lot of people from the area.
Right. Well, and
I've seen like 6 of him in the last week.
All of us know one of these guys. Journeyman Bader says got kicked out of Hogwarts or threw a ring in a volcano. This is all pretty much along the line. I'm liking this. So right, this 30-year-old man has been ordered by a judge that he has to leave his parents' home.
Oh. So none of us are really off. Just got the details a little wrong.
Yeah, for sure. He's all that guy. He's what we referred to as a raid leader.
So this is like small claims court? Did he do something wrong?
No.
Okay.
He's just,
this isn't real court.
Exactly.
This is fake court.
Well, I mean, like, I'm pretty sure this is civil court, right?
Yeah, it's
right.
It's not. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. He's being given like Coco Mojo gets it. Lamau raid leader. Yeah, exactly. This is the guy who has the time to put together being a raid leader. A New York State Supreme Court judge, Donald Greenwood, ruled Tuesday afternoon that Michael Rotondo, sorry, not Ron, but Rotondo, must remove himself from his parents' home. In filings with the court last week, the parents, Christina and Mark Rotondo, said that they've been trying to get their son to leave their home for several months. The filings include 5 written notices that the couple said it is left for Michael, starting with the first note on February 2nd. A second note, dated February 13th, told Michael he is hereby evicted from the couple's home, effective immediately, and tells him he has until March 15th to move out. Michael Rotondo speaks to reporters after the court appearance. That's just a thing that was supposed to be here. A third note from 5 days later offers $1,100 to Michael so you can find a place to stay, according to the filing. It also offers the following advice. 1, organize your things you need for work and manage an apartment. Note, you still will need stuff at redacted. You must arrange the date and sometime through your father so he can set it up with the tenant. 2, Sell the other things you have that of any significant value, e.g. stereo, some tools, etc. This is especially true for the many weapons that you have. You need the money and will have no place for the stuff. Of course he's got swords and shit right everywhere. I've got swords and shit, but I have an apartment, like, of my own. 3, there are jobs available even for those with poor work histories like you. Get one. You have to go to work. 4, if you want help finding a place for your mother has offered to help you. The 4th message, dated March 5th, notes that the upcoming March 15th deadline to leave and says, so far we have seen no indication that you are preparing to leave, it adds. Be aware that we will take any actions appropriate and necessary to make sure that you leave the house as demanded. The 5th message, dated March 30th, presents solutions for an issue over Michael's car, which, according to the filing, was sitting at the couple's home. According to filings by the couple, they have been informed that that because Michael is a family member, they can only have him removed through the home through an ejectment proceeding. Rotondo was frustrated with the judge and said in court that he didn't think the judge fully read the case. It sounded like the judge said he needed to leave the home immediately, but Rotondo told reporters after the court appearance that that's just ridiculous. Ramos says you have swords, but you're an adult with swords. Correct.
Right. Distinction.
Dorian Vader says, fuck you, parents. I paid my rent for life by being the best kid ever. Twisty says, so those are shoulder pads in that blazer. Just several months, not years. Right. Enid says, millennials' worst nightmare. And turn the internet off.
I guess it was years.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
It's just the legal process was months ago because that was what it was gonna take to actually get him the fuck out. What a loser.
Right. I think there's no other more apt term for this guy other than loser. He says he was quoted after the trial saying, "It seemed to me like I should be provided with, 30 days or so, because generally you get 30 days after you're found, to vacate the premises. So I'm expecting something like that. But realistically, if that's not the case, I don't know." He said he will.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he's going to be appealing the judge's decision.
Maybe it's kind of the parents' fault for creating a useless human being that they obviously enabled for 30 goddamn years. They had to take him to small claims court to pick him out. This is a sad, sad story.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Based on time, I wasn't necessarily sure I wanted to do this one, but I'll just cover it really quickly. A handful of adults were in a park in Atlanta, Georgia, on Sunday afternoon when 2 boys, a 6-year-old and a 12-year-old, came up and asked if they could use the swing. According to police, the adults told the 2 children that they were welcome to the swing set, and they started to walk away when all of a sudden the children pulled out weapons, rocks the size of baseball and what appeared to be a handgun. And then the children started lobbing the large rocks at the group of adults in Angel Park, striking 2 men and leaving one with an abrasion on his calf.
Jeez.
Yep. 12-year-old was holding the handgun and pointing it at the group of adults, according to the police. The victim said they weren't sure if it was real or fake. The adults, who were in their 30s, ran away from the scene while 2 children fled in the opposite direction. Police are now investigating, looking for the 2 child suspects. If you know anyone, you can call Atlanta Crime Stoppers. Yeah,
they're the hollow-eyed children.
Exactly, freaky bastards. Blaze Black Sheep says he's laughing hysterically at the parents. It says my dad would have thrown all my stuff out on the lawn and changed the locks. Yeah, my dad would have just beat my ass. Jerry Vader says fuck swings, get wrecked adults. Blaze said, here's a car, buddy. 10 years later, get the fuck out of my house, you mooch. Right?
I mean, usually there's a lot, any sensible person would think the parents could have just made life a living hell for him, right, so that he'd want to leave. And then if that's not working, seriously, something's very wrong.
Yeah, the most powerful thing Enet said was turn the internet off. He can't read later or lead his raids at that point, so...
that pissed me off.
Kids are scary as shit. Yeah, exactly. There's a reward of $2,000
also-
if you can find a 6-year-old and 12-year-old to throw under the bus for Atlanta Crime Stoppers. So. All right. So this story was what I was really hoping to get to. So, in the Ukraine, it's the Ukraine is home to some of the more adventurous military blue sky thinking, mostly hangovers from the Soviet area, right? As well as a 160 meter high, 500 meter long radar that was supposed to be able to warn off a nuclear attack. It also apparently has a secret program that trained sea mammals to carry out military tasks.
I didn't know this.
Right.
I'm not surprised.
The Ukraine had weaponized dolphins, which is
What the
amazing. So,
dolphins are smart.
Right. They had a dolphin army in the Crimean Military Dolphin Center, trained and ready for deployment, or at least they did until Russia annexed Crimea, right, in 2014. The dolphins were captured by Russia, and as Ukraine demanded their return, the Russian forces refused. Some believe the Russians were planning to retrain the dolphins as Russian soldiers, with a source telling Russian agency RIA Novosti that the engineers were developing new aquarium technologies for the program to more efficiently use dolphins underwater. 4 years later, it seems little has come of the supposed Russian plans for most of the dolphins, and most of the dolphins have died. And it's because this is what they claim, right? The Ukrainian government is claiming that they did so defending their country. He said that the dolphins died patriotically, refusing to follow orders or to eat food provided by the Russian invaders, and they went on hunger strike, and it led to their eventual death. I think that Russians didn't know how to take care of dolphins.
Yeah, right?
I'm assuming
or they killed them. I mean, it's Russia.
Exactly. Some Russian military was just all like, this is stupid. Fucking dolphins. He told the Ukrainian newspaper that dolphins were more honorable than some human soldiers. The trained animals refused to not only interact with the new Russian coaches, but refused food and died sometime later. Many Ukrainian soldiers took their oath and their loyalty much less seriously than the dolphins. So I'm pretty sure this story is 100% propaganda.
Right.
I don't think they had dolphins that were capable of really actually any military actions.
I agree.
2, I don't think the dolphins were loyal to the Ukraine to the point of where they went on hunger strike in order to keep the Russian invaders from getting any sort of military secret from the dolphin program. I don't... I didn't expect to have to say that this morning. Journeyman Bader says the U.S. had a cat with a radio transmitter implant called Acoustic Kitty. The only reason they stopped using it was they got ran over on its first mission. That's terrible.
They didn't choose a very good cat, and that is really sad, if it's true.
I know that we did have bats that were laced with C4 that we would send, we would train to, like, roost in buildings, right? And what they did was they built this big bomb that was like a bat, like, cage, essentially, with, like, hundreds of bats in it. Each one of them had a small, tiny C4 bomb on them. And so the bomb would fall, and it would release all the bats in midair. And then the bats would be all like, shit, the sun's out. We need to go roost. And so they would go into, say, a Japanese city and find places to roost. And then 24 hours later, they would burst into flames.
Jesus,
yeah,
fuck.
They even built, like, a couple of Japanese mock cities to test the bomb on, and it totally worked. Journey says, I thought it was napalm. Yeah, napalm. That's the word I was really looking for. Not C4, but napalm, right? They would burst into flames and burn the whole place down. But yeah, and we also had pigeons that would guide missiles. Did you know about that, Shayna?
I think that's that. I don't know if I ever actually explicitly knew about that, but
so it was something that was kind of like one of the first
familiar.
like touch screen technologies, right? they trained a pigeon to like peck at a thing to get food, right, on a screen.
Right.
And so they put that whole setup inside of a freaking bomb, and then they would make them peck at the thing that they wanted the thing to go towards, and then the system would recorrect based on where the thing was pecking, and it would shoot the bomb into stuff. But then they'd have to spend, months training another pigeon in order to make another bomb. So
Right.
it wasn't really
Not exactly
effective.
very effective.
Right. All right, time to move on to our next interaction news story. We're going to fight child slavery with spoons, Shayna. How
Okay.
do we fight child slavery with spoons? Is it weaponized spoons? Is it spoons equal drugs? Is it carry so many spoons that they can't carry you away? Is it get so fat that no one will kidnap you? Is it put the spoon in your underwear? Or is it 6, pay off your kidnappers with incredibly awesome spoons? One of these is a correct answer. Journeyman Bader says get fat. If you get fat, no one will take you for child labor.
That's true.
What do you think, Shayna?
1 or 3? 1?
Twisty
These
says
all
2.
seem-
Yep.
So ridiculous.
The answer is really damned clever, by the way. This is not making fun of this story, but definitely making fun of the headline. Journeyman says, hey, worked for my brother. Ramos says 2 or 6. All right. So this is a Swedish city is advising girls who fear being taken abroad for forced marriage or female genital mutilation to tuck spoons into their underwear before going through airport security. It's brilliant.
Oh. Wow. That is so... I didn't think it was going there. Holy shit.
Yeah, airport staff in Gothenburg have been told how to respond to such circumstances, says Katrina Eidengard, who's in charge of tackling honor-based violence in Sweden's second biggest city. The spoon will...
Sweden.
Right.
Of course, because they're doing almost everything right.
Right, exactly. The spoon will trigger the metal detectors when you go through security checks, told Thompson... told the Thomson Reuters Foundation. You will be taken aside, and then you can talk to the staff in private. The staff has been like, they know to, if they see a spoon in their underwear, to go, oh, well, we just need to take her for a random check. And then they pull her aside, and then they're all like, why do you have the spoon in your underwear? Who are we going to kill? Right?
This is amazing.
Right. It's a last chance to sound the alarm, Eidegard added. There's no data on the number of girls taken abroad for forced marriage, but Eidegard said the national hotline received 139 calls last year about child marriage or forced marriage. Activists will encourage other cities to follow Gothenburg's lead and adopt the Spoon Initiative to protect girls, she added. The idea comes from British charity Karma Nirvana, which said that the tactic has already saved a number of girls in Britain from forced marriage. The charity said hiding a spoon in their underwear was a safe way for girls to alert authorities, and which was often difficult as they were constantly surrounded by family. Eidegard said that the advice on hiding
no money needs to be made off of saving people from being trafficked. I'm sorry, but that's not okay with me.
Yeah.
I mean, I get where you're going with that, but no. That's like evil. Those people should be burned at the stake. Sorry, I have some feelings about that.
He's saying it's a joke.
I kind of gathered.
Yeah. It was part of a wider campaign to tackle the violence, and that schools and social workers have been asked to be extra vigilant in a run-up to the summer holidays when girls from diaspora communities are more likely to be taken abroad. But yeah, so brilliant idea. Durian says spoons are already within the public domain.
Right. Well, I mean, you do have to buy the silverware, but
Or
Relatively,
it's
not that
just
expensive.
when you're eating at dinner, right?
Right.
You pocket a spoon, shove it.
Well,
in your
somebody bought the spoon, is all I mean.
Right.
Though not always.
All right. So here's a fucked up story. The U.S. Air Force has lost a box of grenade rounds in the northwest North Dakota. It fell off of a Humvee earlier this month, and it is now seeking the public's help in locating the box of high explosives.
What the fucking shit?
A 91st Missile Wing Security Forces team from the Minoy Air Force.
I'm glad that's far away from where we live.
Right. Lost the ammunition container on May 1st while traveling between missile sites in Mountain Trail County. According to a news release the Air Force issued late Friday. The team was traveling on rough gravel roads about 4 miles west of Parshall when the back hatch of the vehicle opened and the ammunition container fell out. The ammunition is considered safe as long as the container is intact, a spokesperson for the Air Force base said. However, damage to the container or its contents could lead to explosion or injury. If the ammunition is located and is damaged, the area should be evacuated and people should call 911 or the Minoy Munitions reporting hotline. The missing ammunition is a belt of grenade rounds contained in a green metal container. It's meant for the use of the MK-19 machine gun grenade launcher. The Mountain Trail County Sheriff said the ammunition will not operate in any other launching device. Twisty Top Hatter says, lost.
Yeah, right?
In North Dakota, no worries. Everybody in the Dakotas already have MK-19 machine gun rounds. I mean, maybe. All right. It's that time again, Shayna. It's time to have a fireside chat. I've created some questions. While we're here, I'm going to check to see if we're going to mess up your camera here real quick. We're going to see if Gnarls came online. Doesn't look like he did. That's fine. I see how it is.
He's got the kiddos, I think.
Yeah, exactly. Ramos says, I bet some rednecks are going to figure out how to use those. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. They're going to figure out how to use them for some real cool shit. All right, Shane, if you had a pet unicorn, what would you name it?
A pet unicorn, and what would I name it? I'd have to like experience the unicorn's personality to pick a name. I don't have a name picked out.
I think
I'm not that kind of person.
I think male or female, I would name my unicorn Humphrey. I mean, Humphrey the unicorn sounds like the perfect name. Twisty says Walter.
Walter.
Journey says horny horse Harry, Lord of all stupid things, or all things stupid.
All things stupid.
Ramos says Ezekiel, barbarian warlord of the Amish. These are fantastic unicorn names, guys. All right.
Right?
Well, here's an easier to figure out one. Jane, if you could get drunk with any one famous person, who would it be?
This is really easy.
Okay.
It's gonna sound so dumb. I'm so embarrassed. With the name that came up to mind, and it's not necessarily to get drunk, but I want to have a shot of bourbon with Dave Matthews.
Oh, okay. I mean, it doesn't sound too dumb. I mean,
there's a lot of people that hate the Dave Matthews Band. Like, it's a strange. Like, I don't know. So it's kind of, I'm always a careful thing. It's one of those things. I happen to love them, and I love him as a singer and a writer. And I would love to have a conversation with him. And I know he likes bourbon, and so do I.
So Journeyman Bader asks, only alive or do dead people count? You could have a shot with a dead person, but I mean, it's just going to be a corpse. They're not going to be that much fun. I think it would definitely.
Or Neil deGrasse Tyson is up there.
Right. I think getting drunk with Putin would be the best.
Okay, I don't need to be involved with
that. Journey says, all right, Bill Nye. Ramo says, I'm sorry, I grew up in the 90s and have ears connected to a heart. I'm not sure I quite get it. that a Dave Matthews thing?
No idea.
Is that a Bill Nye thing? I don't, I don't know. All right, Shayna and chat. This one is good for everybody to answer. If you were the final boss, what loot would you drop?
All things purple.
You would drop just everything purple?
So many purple things.
Anything in particular? Like, would it just be like
things were, I don't know, shiny things, gems, and purple things that would make whoever it's exciting. I don't know. A lot of loot. Trying to think of what video game I could have played it to. There was, the fuck video game was that where it was an absurd amount of loot? You had to, I can't remember, but
Rama says white darts, and some of us know what that means. Journeyman Bader says a sword that comes at night and fucks your wife. That's a sword that comes awake at night and fucks your wife. He dotted it there, but that's what it does. Twisted Top Hatter says all the health. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah. She just drops all the health.
That's good. Yeah, it's a final boss. But if it's a final boss, you probably don't need the health because you beat the final boss.
I would drop a single piece of paper that says you were the bad guy the whole time. All right, let's see what's up. I've got another one here. If you had to choose permanently between underwear and socks, which one would it be?
Underwear.
Okay.
Well, wait.
It's a hard choice.
That's really hard. It depends. No, I'll go with socks.
All right.
Actually, I'm going with socks. Yeah, I had to think about it. 100% socks.
I think I pick underwear because I don't even care about socks. Right, like not one little bit because I'm a giant hairy monster. But like,
you have hobbit feet, Udo.
Well, yeah, pretty much. I've got size 14 wide feet, and my feet never get cold ever.
Oh, you lucky bastard!
Yeah,
my feet are cold all the time.
I have
not all the time.
Fantastic blood circulation, and like, I don't know. Having underwear would be much better because I much prefer walking around in underwear than walking around in just socks.
Fair enough. That makes actually some sense, yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes I don't want to put on any clothes in order to answer the door. So, underwear will work. Journeyman Bader says I need the socks for anti-blisters instead of heat control.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's exactly the same with me.
I would just have to be that guy that just everybody's
like, I don't get underwear.
Udo stopped wearing the shoes back in 2018, and Ramos says, "Let that shit dangle." All right. Shayna, one state has to go. Which one is it?
Texas.
Texas is gone when Shayna is in charge. I'm gonna get rid of.
Or yeah, or like. No, I'm gonna go with Texas. Yeah.
I think I'm gonna pick one of the Dakotas, and no one will ever notice. Enid says Florida.
I was gonna say Florida, but then we wouldn't have a Florida man. And it's so good.
Ramos says Mississippi. Twisted Top Hat says Delaware. Oh, wait a minute. Washington, D.C. Hell yeah.
Oh, that's not.
Oh, hell yeah.
That's a good one. It's really miserable there anyway. It's a freaking swamp. It's so humid.
Enid down says Jersey Man would rule, and we'd all have a Jersey Man section.
We could still have a Florida. Yeah.
Exactly.
We could still have a Florida man. It would just be foreign.
It'd be like
it is foreign.
Exactly. All right. It's time for fucking adorable and cool stories. Because we had some pretty shitty ones today with a lady who fed people barbecue and a bunch of, plane farting and stuff like that. But now we have some adorable fucking stories. This one actually is a bigger story. A lot of other places are covering this one. But police officers in Ohio were convinced a man who called 911 about a pig following him was drunk and hallucinating. But it turns out the caller was, in fact, very sober and telling the truth. North Ridgeville police officers received a call at 5:30 a.m. Saturday from a man who said a pig was following him home when he was walking home from the Amtrak train station in Elyria, located 30 miles west of Cleveland. The caller added that he didn't know what to do. Oops. There we go. And that the department wrote on their Facebook post, police officers were skeptical to believe the man thought he was intoxicated walking home from the bar. The night shift responded to the obviously drunk guy walking home from the bar at 5:26 in the morning. He was at least drunk enough to call the police on himself while hallucinating, the police department said. But officers' theory was very wrong. Not only was the man very sober and walking home from the train station, like he said, the pig was actually following him. One of the officers managed to get the pig into the police cruiser and take it to the city's dog kennel that doubled as a pig pen for a few hours. By 8:23 a.m. Saturday, the pig was returned to its owner, whose identity was not revealed. But it turns out it was like a pet pig, right, that had gotten out. And it found a people, and it decided to hang out with the people until, it was taken home. Look at this adorable little piggers.
I love pigs.
Yep, this is the picture of him in the cop car.
I also like to eat pigs.
Yes.
I like them as an animal, and I also like to eat them.
Yeah, anything that can turn fucking leaves into bacon is a fantastic animal.
Right?
All right. Here's a story. I don't necessarily agree with what they did, but I guess it's okay that they're kind of cool people. I guess if I was on the other side, I'd be happy. But for years, Matthew and Maria Colonna Emanuel thought that a piece of rusty metal behind some trees in their backyard was just part of a cable box. But it wasn't. It in fact was a safe containing $52,000 in cash and gold and diamonds. What? Yeah.
Fucking score! I want this to happen to me.
Right. The couple saw the metal box between some trees when they moved into their Staten Island home in New York, but never paid much attention to it. They thought it was an electrical box, they said. They dug it up when the trees in their yard were damaged by wildlife. It was really prominent when the deer ate away all the foliage, the man said. After digging it up, he realized it was a rusty old safe. Inside, they found a lot of wet money and a lot of jewelry in plastic bags. Hundreds, jewelry, diamonds, engagement rings, dozens of rings, gold with jade. It was stunning, they said. There was also a piece of paper inside with an address. Their next door neighbor. So they knocked on the door and asked them if they were ever robbed, and they said that they were. The department had a burglary report on the neighbor's home in the day after Christmas in 2011, and the only thing taken was the entire safe. And they had everything that was on the list in the safe, like documented with the police.
Whoa.
Yeah. The cops told the people who were robbed that you'll never see that stuff again. The neighbors were brought to tears. They returned it, and they said that when they were asked why they did what they did, they said it never was even a question. It wasn't theirs to begin with. So their reward is good karma. I don't know. I think about $10,000 might be a really good reward.
Yeah, or a few pieces of jewelry or something.
Exactly. Twisted Top Adder says these people are way too nice. Yeah.
Right?
I would have.
And the neighbors were total fucking dicks.
Right. But also think about this. Somebody robbed this place, went to the house next door and buried the place. Or buried the safe, and then never came back in 7 years.
Maybe they were like paying attention and waiting for the people to leave. I don't know. That's a weird story.
Right.
It doesn't strike me as whoever was actually trying to steal the money. They were just trying to fucking troll the people, so.
Oh, yeah. They're just all like, you know what? I don't want to get caught with all this stolen shit, but I definitely don't want them to have it. It's just the worst kind of burglar.
Right?
A spite burglar. He steals all your money and then just burns it in your front yard.
Oh my god.
Could have been trying to stash it till they could open it, then got caught doing other stupid shit. That's a good point, right? They may have gotten arrested for some petty garbage, right? So, can you identify this animal, Shayna?
Lost.
Well, are you there?
Oh, wait.
Sounds like we're having a bit of a connection issue for a second. Still there, Shayna? Is it on my side?
Oh, there we go. I have no idea.
We're better.
There we go.
Discord was having a hissy fit. It happens all the time.
I just got frozen in a really terrible facial.
Well, that's on the internet
Look
forever
on my
now.
face. Fucking great.
All right, Twisted Top Hatter says it's a hippo. Do you agree? Is this a hippo?
It looks like a hippo, yeah.
Right. Turns out it's a murderer.
Oh yeah, hippos are dangerous as fuck.
But not in a way that you were expecting. So, Chris Dutton and Amanda Sobalski had no idea why they were finding tons of dead fish. At a bridge on the border between Kenya and Tanzania, they noticed that whenever the Mara River rose by a few feet, dead fish would wash up on its banks, sometimes in the thousands. The storks, vultures, crocodiles, and hyenas made short work of the carcasses, so if you weren't there to see it, you'd never know it was happening, says Dutton. Local rangers knew about the die-offs, but they blamed the events on farmers who sprayed pesticides in upstream fields. Though it turns out it wasn't the farmers. Through an increasingly bold set of experiments involving remote-controlled boats, computer simulations, a makeshift dam, vast tankers full of excrement-filled water, it has been the real culprits have been identified, and that is hippos. The duos, who are married, published their results in a paper with the remarkably polite title of "Organic Matter Loading by Hippopotami Causes Subsidy Overload Resulting in Downstream Hypoxia and Fish Kills." To translate, hippos really sometimes poop so much that all the fish choke to death.
Oh my god. Translation.
In the dry season, when the Mara River becomes narrower and shallower, certain stretches of it become especially thick with hippos and their dung. The hippos are aggressive and dangerous, so only the foolhardiest of researchers would wade into these so-called hippo pools. Instead, Dutton and Sapolsky deployed a remote-controlled boat armed with sensors. It revealed that the mud and water at the bottom of these hotspots is a stagnant mess of ammonia, methane, hydrogen sulfide, and other chemical grotesqueries. It's also starved of oxygen, and almost all of the gas is consumed by bacteria as they slowly digest the accumulated hippo poop. During heavy rains, extra water floods the hippo pools, turning up the putrefying muck and sending it off downstream. For good reasons, these events are called flushing flows. To study them, they used an oxygen logger, an arm-long cylindrical device that, to the untrained eye, looks like a pipe bomb. We always get stopped at airports, they say. Once dangled off the side of a bridge, the logger revealed that the flushing flows dramatically reduce the oxygen levels of the downstream river, often to levels that are lethal for many aquatic animals. That, says Stutton and Sobolski, suffocates the fish. Anyway, hippos poop so much that they kill thousands of fish. Dragon Daughter, thank you very much for that applause. But yeah, when I saw this story, I was laughing a lot. It was really hard for me to get through this to the point where we are right now, because I was just like, God damn it, that's just poop. Lord Trump is back. Welcome to the stream. Jeremy Bader, can you imagine eating those fish afterwards? No, I can't. Jeremy Barter says that's a really cool hippopotamus in the 70s. Correct, a hippopotamus. Also, your joke was really square, Daddy-O. All right, to no one's surprise, a team of sniffer dogs set up in the British airport that cost 1.25 million pounds. This is, for the kennels and the dog training and the specialized stuff that they have to have proved adept at discovering small amounts of cheese and sausages, but not so good at smuggled drugs.
That's pretty good.
The report said on Thursday that the dogs have recovered exactly 0 Class A drugs, but have detected over, 46 kilograms of cigarettes and 181 kilograms of meat.
That's hysterical.
It said that one dog trained to find smuggled animal products had made multiple accurate detections, but most of the small amounts of cheese or sausages wrongly brought back by returning British holidaymakers, posing minimal risk to UK public health. Twisty Top Hatter says, good doggo. I mean, this dog's doing what dogs do, right? Finding when somebody's eating food and being there.
Right?
All right. So there's not really much more to that story other than the fact that, they're talking about making new changes to their legislature, trying to find better ways to deploy the dogs. But, so are you aware of the Hawaii incident? What's going on in Hawaii right now?
Well, the volcanoes, but...
Correct. So 2 dogs were missing for 10 days in Puna, Hawaii, were found on Sunday surrounded by lava.
Oh, no. But this is a happy story.
Correct. So these dogs were found near lava in Hawaii. Bruce and Little Dude ran off while their owner, Carol Halsey, was evacuating their apartment due to volcano eruptions. Aloha Ilo Rescue, from the local shelter from which the pups were adopted 6 months ago, helped Halsey search for the dogs. They looked for 10 days, and they just kept going back and going back. Kylie's, accompanied by 2 friends, finally found the dogs on Sunday. They were stuck behind a fence, and they couldn't get out because lava had surrounded them. It was crazy. Kylie's and her friends crawled through the grass to the fence line to get to the dogs, who were both covered in red ant bites. They said that they were thrilled to death to be able to rescue the dogs. They couldn't just be happier. They don't mind anything about all the stuff that they lost, but they have managed to secure the doggos. But yeah, so these little doggos had like the worst version of Milo and Otis story, what is that? The fucking Homeward Bound, right? Mm-hmm. All of a sudden, lava. But I'm down to see this movie when it comes out. All right, are you guys ready? It's that time again.
Always ready.
Bingo. I fixed the link, so now you can just click it and I don't have to recopy it again. Excellent. We're going to go into Average Day for Florida Man. For those of you who are joining us who haven't seen this before, if you click that link found in the chat or in the description below on the YouTube video, you can find our Bingo Banker link that'll take you to a bingo card where you can play Florida Man Bingo with the following 5 Florida Man-based stories. Journeyman Bader with 100 biddies. Taking the number 1 spot, I believe. Yep, up to 150. Journeyman Bader. All right. It is time. Here's our first story. This guy looks like he got some problems.
Oh my God.
Right. Clearwater Beach, Florida. He's not wearing the jacket thing, though, which makes me suspicious about what's going on here. Is he really in prison? Supposed to be wearing a jacket thing. Clearwater Beach police say that a Florida man climbed on top of playground equipment and yelled a vulgar explanation of where babies came from as children played.
What the fuck?
He was just educating people. An officer said that he watched 30-year-old Otis Dwayne Ryan climb on top of a piece of equipment where children were playing on Sunday and start shouting that babies came out of women. The officer said that Ryan used inappropriate language. Parents rushed to remove their children from the busy playground. Earlier in the day, Ryan approached tourists and made inappropriate comments to women in an effort to get their male partners to confront him, according to police. An officer was watching him at that time as well. Ryan was charged with disorderly conduct and found guilty and fined $118.
That's it?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's not all that illegal to get up and yell obscenely where babies come from, right?
This person might belong in an institution.
Very possibly.
Like, I question anybody's decision-making skills when there's one tattoo on their face.
Squabbly's asking.
So this guy's like trying to make himself a creepy thing. I don't know what the fuck.
Right, exactly. I don't know if, I mean, either that or he's, just an extreme version of an educator. He's like the worst. He's a substitute teacher no one asked for. All right. Indian River County, a flap over allegations of stolen ears of corn erupted into a vegetable throwing melee and sent a 66-year-old woman to jail, according to statements in an affidavit. The Veggie Tale in Vero Beach popped May 3rd at an address in the 7600 block of South Polo Grounds Lane. Pamela Woodsman told Indian River County sheriff investigators that she and her husband were dining on their back patio. She said her husband started accusing her of swiping an extra ear of corn from Publix. She stated that he kept calling her a thief and a liar for bagging 6 ears of corn when they were only 5 for $2. The affidavit states, Woodsman said that she then slammed her wine glass down, breaking off the stem. She threw the wine glasses, which shattered on the patio. She then said that she followed her husband, but she wouldn't let, she followed her husband, but he wouldn't let her inside the house. So Woodsman said that her husband slammed the door in her finger and slammed her finger in the door before she threw a tomato at him. Meanwhile, the husband said that they were discussing the raised prices of vegetables, in which she told him she took 6 ears of corn from Publix instead of 5. When he got upset and said that there was not the right thing to do, regardless of the price, she told him it was the clerk's fault for not taking the time to count the corn. She then threw a wine glass on him and started tossing wine glasses in his direction. He also accused her of throwing fruits and vegetables at him.
Jesus.
She was arrested on battery and domestic violence charges. It says unusual loot. Exactly, the corn.
Oh my god.
Yep, and domestic violence, definitely one. All right. A Florida deputy has tasered a naked man who was wandering through a neighborhood during a rainstorm. The Pensacola News Journal reports Joseph John Musso was arrested Thursday and charged with loitering and prowling, lewd and lascivious behavior, and resisting an officer without violence and exposure of his sexual organs. Authorities were called by a resident who said that his security camera showed a naked man walking by his front door. A second person then called Santa Rosa Sheriff's Office, who said that they saw a naked man with an erection. Amid heavy rainfall, a deputy tried to apprehend the man, but he ran away. That's when the deputy then followed... Yeah, America. The deputy then fired his taser at Musso. The arrest report states that the 63-year-old Musso told deputies that he received sexual gratification by being naked in public. It is not known if he has an attorney. Busy Top Hatter says body horror for sure on that one. Squabbly says hot. All right. A Florida couple stole a motorized shopping cart from Walmart and took it on a joyride to a nearby dive bar, police say. You ever ridden
Classy.
around on? Yeah. You ever ridden around on one of those?
No.
I got drunk once at a Walmart. Not Walmart, but a Winco. And
did you get drunk at the Winco, or did you get drunk and then go to Winco?
that'd be the one. I got drunk, then went to Winco, right?
Okay, that's much better.
And we took a pair of these and started driving them, and then we went down one of the aisles where they were selling trash cans, right? And we picked up trash can lids. Then we went over to where they sell cleaning stuff, and we picked up brooms.
You jousted on the.
Oh, yeah. We did not get to collide before the employees finally came. We were slowly moving at each other from two opposite lanes in the store. We were very far apart and going very slowly, but we were kicked out.
That's an awesome story.
Yep. I thought I was going to be banned, but they totally didn't, because it was 3 a.m.
Not the worst things that's happened at Walmart.
Right, for sure.
Or wait, Winco, whatever, you know.
So Jeffrey, Robert, Sabiel, and Santa Marie Walters took the scooter Thursday from Largo Walmart and drove it about a mile west to Jimmy's Sports Bar, where an officer found the cart parked out front. The couple at first denied taking the cart, but soon admitted to it, investigators said. They're both charged and arrested with grand theft, according to jail records. They were released on $2,000 bonds.
It might be a little excessive, but I don't know. That's a pretty...
I bet that the company that provides those to the Walmart charges an exorbitant amount.
That's probably true.
Journeyman Bader says a mile. How long did it take? 4 hours? Right. How were they not spotted beforehand? Right?
Yeah, that's more the point in question.
A South Florida man is the subject of an investigation after he gained access to a U.S. Air Reserve base while wearing an Air Force uniform and photographed himself on the tarmac with scramble-ready fighter jets.
Wow.
Yeah, this is a serious breach of security.
Yeah.
The home of the 93rd Squadron, or Fighter Squadron, known as the MACO's Homestead Air Reserve Base, is a critical part of the air security to the southernmost sectors of the United States, particularly when the President of the United States is a frequent visitor to America's most peninsular state. That means it sounds like peninsular, right? But it's peninsular. The F-16C/D block with block 30s on the tarmac. I don't know, but that's some fancy fucking air fighter words that I don't understand. We're armed and ready to go at a moment's notice, and security is no joke at Homestead, except of course in the case of 20-year-old DeMonte Jean, who seems to be gunning for the title of King of Stolen Valor with his recent and rather disturbing stunt. Posing as an Air Force officer in full uniform, Gene took videos of himself. Apparently someone is at my door. Give me just a moment. I shall return. I have to leave you alone with them for just a moment.
Peninsular. Oh, for talking about Trump, that's appropriate. He did not say how old he is. Oh, we're wondering if it's a minor.
All right, I'm back. So what was that?
Oh, Twisty was just wondering, did he say how old this dude is?
Yeah, 20. 20 years old.
Barely not a minor.
Well, he's a minor in the case of a drinking minor.
Right. But he's not, this wasn't drinking, this was...
Right, exactly. So, anyway, he was, they found it hard to believe that as well as when they went to see him with the pictures by the airplanes and everything. However, his most recent stunt has drawn the attention of the feds, something she acknowledges is very serious. It's escalatingly bad, says his mom. Very, very bad. Even when out of uniform, Jean never seems to be far from trouble. Last year, he was busted for openly carrying a firearm, which is illegal in Florida, bearing a few minor exemptions. And upon further investigation, the firearm had been reported stolen. So, not only is he just a crazy troublemaker, he's also impersonating an officer, impersonating a military serviceman.
He's gonna be in trouble.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of problems with that. Twisty Top Hatter says, counting it anyways, now all I need is object and butt. Well, unfortunately, that was the end of the 5th story. So if you didn't get it, this isn't supposed to be easy. One day somebody will totally get that huge bingo and be like, oh my God, Florida man bingo. And then I'll give them 50 Illumis. Exactly. All right. So to wrap up tonight's show, I have You Don't Need It, But You Might Want It. Stupid shit for sale. All right. So Shayna, if you could be a wizard, even a shitty one, would you want to?
Well, I could do magic. Yeah. Hell yeah.
Well, now you can live your life like you are a shitty wizard with the Rin emoji poop hat, the shittiest wizard hat that anyone has ever done seen.
A new kind of dunce cap.
Right. It's only $6.98 with free shipping, and you can also get a 2-pack for more than twice the price.
That makes a lot of sense.
Exactly. I don't know. It's like a cent more. They're like, oh, you want 2? Well, you're going to have to pay us an extra cent. It's got some pretty good ratings. Apparently people like poop emoji hats. It's 145 ratings. 87% are 5 stars. Dirtyman Bader says, need this.
Oh my God, there's pictures of people. I don't know if we can click on them, but there's actually pictures of people wearing that.
Well, here's one that looks safe.
Oh my God.
She definitely looks like a shit wizard. Ramo says that's my B&B character for sure. Excellent. All right. And, all right. So, Shane, have you ever seen those ghost hunting shows?
Yep.
You ever wondered where they get all that impressive tech from?
No.
Well, it turns out it's Amazon.
But I build computers, so yeah. I was gonna say Amazon, Newegg, fucking. Oh my God, the ghost meter EMF sensor.
I found out that you can also get the ghost box that makes random noises, right? You can get that for $90 off of Amazon also. But
wow,
if you ever need to figure out if your shit is fucking haunted, yeah, here's the ghost meter. It's in the frequently bought together, and apparently black lights too. But hell yeah, $30. If this show ever kicks off, I am totally buying all of these.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Right, and we're gonna do a ghost hunting show.
Oh my God, that sounds amazing. Please, people, we need more people to make that happen.
Exactly. All right. Shayna, have you ever given a fuck?
Have I ever given a fuck? Unfortunately, yes.
All right.
It's much more fun not to give a fuck, but... Well,
if you've run out of fucks to give, now you can buy them from Amazon.
This I want. It's like, I've got one fuck to give. Who's gonna get it?
Exactly.
Oh, this is good. I super want this.
So it says that this is only one, but maybe I grabbed the wrong one because they've got 10 packs and stuff down below as well, right? That are nowhere near as expensive as this one. This is a fucking $8 or $9 fuck, which is terrible. But yeah, I saw these were like a 10-pack before. But yeah, so anyway, it just says one fuck on it.
Amazing.
Yeah, and they've got a whole bunch of different fucks. They've also got shits for you to give.
Oh, this is fantastic.
Exactly. These are great. But there's some fucks that you can give to people.
I really want this.
Well, the link is up there. All right. Here's another thing. This is for those people who want to be even more of an asshole. Like that, when you take off the bottle cap from your fucking beer. This is
shoot it at people.
Exactly, the Cap Zappa beer bottle opener cap launcher. So
for douchebags everywhere.
Exactly, it's only $8 for you to be a huge asshole and shoot caps at people. Coco, thank you very much for that alert. But yeah, the Kappa Zappa will allow you to shoot caps from some 5 meters was what they said here. Which means that you're definitely not keeping track of where that thing is going, and it's in my fucking yard, and I'm going to kill you. All right, let's see. The next item I've got here is the Cat Butts coloring book.
I feel like I've seen this before.
Well, I don't think we covered it on this one, but you may have seen it before.
No, I've seen it like somebody had this.
Oh, neat.
I swear. I think, why the hell else would this be that familiar?
Because just sometimes you got a cat butt, right?
Apparently.
But yeah, this is the cat butt coloring book. Let me make sure that this is only $5.76 in paperback. It says, what better way to salute your favorite cat butts than by coloring them? Cat Butts, a coloring book, is the perfect adult coloring book for stress relief and relaxation after a long day in the cat buttless office. Also makes a great cat book gag for the cat lover in your life. Cat Butts is the perfect companion for the cat magnet set we know you already have. All right, and the final item that I've got for tonight as we wrap up at exactly 9 o'clock. Yeah. Excellent. Was that you again? Nope, somebody else did and I didn't see the thing.
No, but this one is.
Excellent.
That's like my favorite.
Streamlabs is being very, 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 very slow. So I apologize for whoever it was that.
Twisty.
Oh, okay.
It was Twisty.
There we go. And one from Squabbly. Thank you very much, Squabbly. And Twisty and Dragon Daughter. But our final item here is the brief yet concise history of tentacular sex.
What? Written by someone with a PhD.
Right.
Okay, I think. Is that what that is? I can't actually see the first letter. I assume.
It's Ben Hung, PhD. This is The Brief Yet Concise History of Tentacular Sex by Dr. Ben Hung, PhD. A very serious fictional nonfiction book about the history and present state of tentacles. If you've been curious about the science behind tentacle monsters and the humans who love them, you will learn basically nothing from this book. In this book, you will learn some of the truths behind important historical facts the world has kept hidden, including the burning of Rome and Nero's ultimate secret. Sources have been carefully ignored to offer the most sensational lies possible. This book definitely sounds super good.
Yeah, I kind of want it. I know a few people would be real intrigued.
Right, and for $7 on paperback or $3 on Kindle, this isn't super bad. C178 says tickle my tentacle. I mean, this might be the book to be able to figure that out. Journeyman Bader says been hung by a tentacle. Ramo says I'm gonna need that link for reasons. This is a really interesting history. Ben hung, haha, yeah. Let's see. Coco Mojo says, "Hey, C's." Yep. Twisted Top Hatter says Japan and sex culture is super interesting. Yes, yeah, I mean, it definitely is. But as far as I can tell, this is not that book.
Interesting is putting it mildly.
Right. This is available on Prime, so it's only $7 with no shipping. There are 2 reviews. They're both 5 stars. One says perfect white elephant gift, and the other one says I have a love-hate thing for you, Mr. Ben. Love you for making me snicker and hate you for writing things that make me snicker. So it seems like this would definitely be a pretty funny book. But also having this book on your coffee table will be the perfect conversation starter for any guests you have in your home.
Yes, indeed. It'd be great to see like the reactions, who notices, how they notice, what they have to say.
Yeah,
the
for
reaction,
sure.
the look on their face, the tone of their voice. It'd be great. I need this.
All right, Shannon. Well, this is it's time to wrap up the show. How was your Tuesday episode?
This was fun. It went quick.
It did. This 2 hours passed by very quickly.
Yeah, it was. This was a good one. I'm feeling pretty good this afternoon. So.
Well, I'd like to thank everybody for joining us tonight. Everybody who talked in the chat for having a good talk show with us tonight. Wouldn't be the same without you guys. We will see you guys on Thursday. I'm not sure who's joining me. Are you available this Thursday, or is it
maybe? It's up in the air.
Yeah,
Thursdays.
Yeah, definitely. That we've discussed that in the past. But Friday, I will definitely be doing another episode of Skeptalk late, just like we did 2 weeks ago. But I was too high to do one last week, so we're doing one definitely this week. And I'll be announcing my guests on Twitter and on Facebook tomorrow. Cool.
Fuck yeah.
All right, let's find somebody to host. Takes a sec for me to load everything. All right, who do we got doing some cool stuff? Looking for something that isn't dumb. Let's go to Chatta. Chatta we haven't hosted Chatta in quite a while, and he's really fun. So let's do that. All right, guys. Let's raid Chatta TV. All right, guys. See you guys over in Chatta's stream. Keep it tight and remember to stay off the pipe, says C's. Exactly. That's what he always says, but we love dumb. Later, Skep. Keep up the entertaining work. Bye, Shayna. Yep. Thank you guys very much for coming by. Chatta works. Yeah, definitely. All right, guys. We'll see you on Thursday.